I want to see like those answers. I put up an answer sheet. I put up the problems again. If you weren't quite sure about a few, if you wanted to look them over again. Where's that? Okay. So if you just go to the review, and it's nothing to turn in because I already. And then you got the worksheet, which you just give you the problems, and then you got the worksheet key where everything's worked out. So if something you couldn't figure something out, or you just want to see it again, you can go there, and I'll leave that up as well for that one. I do have guided notes here in 1 minute, but first I want you to find the area of that triangle.
The area.
I said easy cheesy.
Wait, actually, you get that last slide. Oh yeah, you just need that slide. Wait, what is the area from there?
Right there. That's exactly what it was. Think you're close. You think you're close, you're close. Alright, you guys get it?
That's a good question. Was it?
Oh, that's really good.
This I looked at it. I didn't even need that.
You cheated.
You gave it to me. It's not cheating. This is my resources.
Yeah. That's
Oh yeah. I didn't know. It's just.
you can't run both that.
Got it? You got a lot of work there.
Huh?
I used to.
Totally illegal.
What?
Totally illegal.
It's illegal?
Yeah.
Well, it's signing the side
Yeah.
and it's that works, so.
Cutting up at this.
I'm cutting it in half.
I almost did that and then I realized that.
All right, what is it, 34.5? Well, what's the formula for area of a triangle? Yeah, 1/2 base times height. But we don't have the what? We don't have the height. We got the base. You can treat 14 as the base, but we don't have the height. Where is the height? Height is right here. and it is the perpendicular distance. Now, Nathan, does that divide that into 7 and 7?
Yep.
No, you cannot assume it divides it in half, even if it looks like it does. You're not helping me out. But, so you gotta watch that. Do not cut that into half, and it does not cut that angle into half. We're not guaranteed that. Do we have, can we find this H with the information we got? Now, a lot of you found that A. You didn't need that, okay? You could have used it, but you didn't need that. Can we find H with the information we have? Yeah. Sine of 38 equals H over 8. And then so H equals 8 times sine of 38. Now you either got 34.5 or 34.3, depending if you round it off or how you round it. So I think we got 8 times sine of 38, and you get 4.9. And so if we do area equals 1/2 base, which is 14, times height, which is 4.9. Let's see what we get there if we round it off. 4.9 times 14 times 0.5. That's 34.3. If you did not round off, you cap everything all the way out, you got 34.5. Okay, so I'm just going to put 34.5. Well, one thing here, you got to find the height in order to do this. Well, anytime you're involved with math, somebody's going to say, hey, I want to figure out a formula so I can do this a little bit quicker. So let's come up with the formula. Emily already knows it because she's looked at her notes. So she's already ahead of the game. But how do we come up with the formula? This is at the top triangle there on the left. And you can work to the right hand of it. You can work to the right. So just on that information given, that C, that B, and that angle A, let's come up with the equation, you could say, or the formula for the area of the triangle. Now, one thing you'll notice in this section, they use K for the area of a triangle because we're going to be dealing with angles, and angle A will be in some of the formulas, so that can be confusing. So K is our letter of choice for area. So K still equals 1/2 base times height. And actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write the base out. 1/2 base times height. Oops. For that. So now how do we find the height? And then we're going to keep it in exact form for this. And this way, when we have this equation, it'll give us the exact answer. There won't be any rounded off values. So to find that H, just like we did earlier, sine of A equals H over C. And so H equals C times sine of A. Well, we already know the base. Base is what? Represented by B. The height now is represented by C times sine of A. So we just put it all together. So K equals 1/2 B for base, which is that same B there, C times sine of A. And so K equals 1/2 B. I'm just going to make this BC. I can drop the parentheses. BC sine of A. If you're given a side angle side scenario, this is really all you got to do. 1/2 times the two sides times the sine of the angle. Because that'll end up giving you the height. Okay, as you can see there. And now it boils down into those three, depending on what you have, but they're all the same. Whatever the angle is, you have the other two sides. So if you get no angle A, you got to know side B and C. If you know angle B, you got to know side C and A. And if you know angle C, you got to know side A and B. So it's just side, angle, side. Go ahead, find the area of that triangle. Use that formula. And I don't ever just try to memorize those because it's just, if you know the two sides, it's the two sides times the sine of the angle. So we got, K equals 1/2 29 times 36 times sine of 62. Mackenzie, Ford, what do we get to the nearest tenth?
460.9.
460.9?
Mhm.
460.9 feet square. We got at least one in agreement? All right, so good. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. You kind of see where we got that. Now, that doesn't work for everything. All right, this next one. Go ahead and put 42, put 18 degrees, put 40 feet, put it on that triangle there. See if you can figure out what the area is. And then once you get the area, see if you can figure out the formula. Oh. And yes, you do need to find the height at some point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm pretty slow. But I couldn't get it. But they don't extra practice. No, I'm just trying to handle it. I'm hoping. I can't remember.
You got two sides. All right, you got an answer?
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, I gotta do something else to do. So, we gotta have some.
I have the same problem.
Oh, then you guys got it right.
I know, we're doing good. That's rough. But it sounds right because the signs are.
Alan, you got anything?
Yeah.
What we got?
191.
Yes.
Oh, 191 point what?
Uh,
Or even?
008.
It's point zero.
Yeah.
So 191. Cooper, what'd you guys get?
I did it wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cooper, you're not on your A game today.
I'm really not.
You're not.
It's.
Mia, what'd you guys get? 191? All right, can we agree there? Does that sound right? All right, how'd you do it, Adam?
Well, I took 180 minus 42 minus 18 to find that top angle.
Which is, what is that?
122.
Okay?
And I used the law sign, so I put like sine over 120, or sine of 120 over 40 equals sine of 42 over F to find that right, like, or like, side.
Right there. All right, hold it right there. To go, use law signs. So yeah, you gotta find this somehow. You gotta find some other sides. So sine of 120 over 40 equals the sine of 42 over x. You kind of got to ignore that altitude I put in there. That'll confuse you a little bit. What do you get for that? We can round that to the nearest 10.
30.9.
Okay, so 30.9 would be right here. I'm sure some of you others found this side. Anybody else find, what did you get for that one, Peyton? 14.3. So either way. And then you use law of, or you just use regular sine. Sine of 18 equals h over this, or sine of 42 equals h over 14.3. What'd you get for the height?
9.55.
Oh, you went 5.5. Peyton, what'd you guys get?
I just went straight to the area. I got 9.
Oh, you went straight to the area and you did our new little formula.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that. So you can either find the height and do 1/2 base times height. K equals 1/2 40 times 9.55. Or you can use our fancy new formula, which would be 1/2 40 times either 30.9 times sine of 18 or 14.3 times sine of 42. Okay, so what did we get? What do we say? 191.4?
0.4.
Depending on how you round it. Or if you round it. All right, we want to come up with the equation. We want to come up with the formula. Now, I didn't leave you room here, so just pay attention. We'll just go off of this right here. You got A, we got angle A, we got side C, and we'll call that angle B. So we're going to use that right there to figure out the final area. So in this case here, I need to figure out what this is. I'm going to just go with this one here. So I can use law of sines. This is angle C. We can clearly figure out angle C. Well, right, Cooper, can we find C? If I know those two angles?
Yeah.
All right, good. So I can find that. And so C, so to find this, I do sine of B over B equals sine of angle C over C. And then I get C times sine of B equals B times sine of C. And this is what we're trying to find. So divide by sine of C. And then I got B equals C times sine of B over sine of C. We agree? Maybe? Hey, that gives us enough to use our new little formula, right? If I know this, and I know this, what was that formula? It was K equals 1/2 BC sine of A. But what do I got to put in for B? I got to put in that whole thing for B. Okay, so I'm going to take B out, and I got to put that in. So let's see, what do I get? I get K equals 1/2 C times the sine of B over sine of C times sine of A. All right, there's your equation. Let's just clean it up a little bit. I missed the C, didn't I? Thank you, Tyler. Keep me on my toes. I need to have that C times sine of A. C times sine of A. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is clean it up a little bit. So K equals And I'm gonna do a numerator. So in the numerator, I'm gonna have C times C, which is C squared. And then I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order, sine of A times sine of B. And what's left in the denominator? A 2, and what else? Sine of C. So we need all three angles and one side. Well, if you know two angles, you can find a third angle. So this will work for angle side or angle side angle. So there's one of our equations, depending on what you know. I didn't leave you a lot of room for that other one. Actually, this is that bottom one. C squared times sine of A, sine of B over 2 sine of C. If you just follow the pattern, if we know B, it's B squared, and then sine of B will be on the bottom. And then if you know A, side A, it'll be A squared, sine of B, sine of C over 2 sine A. So hopefully I left you enough room on that last one. It's a little bit small. Okay, so that's angle, side, and then angle, side, angle. For the quiz Tuesday, I'm not gonna make you memorize all these. I'll let you know Monday exactly. I'll either put them on the board or let you write them down. I'm not sure. I'll let you know Monday how we're gonna do that. All right, flip it over on the back. I think we're on the back, right? Okay, find the area of the triangle. Put in 36 degrees, 60 for B, angle C is 64, side B is 15. Hear a lot of flipping.
Not my answer yet. All right, what's the scenario? You're wrong. You could be right.
Where'd you get? 169. I didn't do that.
Did you fraction bar?
I did the first part first, and then
Because it's probably divided it by 2 and then multiplied it by times 3. Unless you use parentheses around all of it.
See, I don't think order of operations should be.
This is NRC. No order of operations.
I originally got 58.5, yeah, I did it again with this season.
Yep.
I wish there was a fraction mark button.
That's no order. You can add, if you're not doing parentheses or.
I know, I kind of something wrong, but
Dude, imagine being that big.
We say
Is that scary?
Okay.
Couldn't really use it on the ATC.
Yeah, I'm trying to, my
All right, like I said, trying to avoid like memorizing. So if you kind of go through here, the sides you know, the angle across from it has to go in the bottom. So it's 15 squared over 2 sine of, what is across from it, 36. Now you can go through all the variables, which is fine, it still works, but then it's 15 squared. What else goes in the numerator? Sine of your other 2 angles. We got to find the other one, which is is that 80? 80. So you got sine of 64. Sine of 64 times sine of 80. And then I believe we got 169.4 feet square. We good there? All right, number 2 is basically the same thing. Yes.
Oh, I'm just gonna say, I keep plugging it in my calculator, but I keep getting the answer 58.5, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Parentheses in the second, under the nine.
You got to put this right here in parentheses.
Okay.
Because what it does is divides it by 2, and then it multiplies by sine of 36. It doesn't do the multiplication first. Unless you get one of the fancy ones where it puts it in fraction. Then it does it. All right, we're going to skip number 2, and we're going to go to this last one.
I think I'm 4571.
Yes, and let's see.
That's our literally like 2 days until I test.
Yeah.
32. Let's see what C was. 12.5. 12.5.
I'm so close.
Curve.
340.7.
All right, we got Heron's formula. And this is the last kind of one of the bunch here. And this is the most different of the one because it doesn't have to do with sine or any of the angles. And but we have to calculate what's called this is called the semi-perimeter. Referred to. Semi-perimeter. So you see the formula there, K equals S square root S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. And then your semi-perimeter is 1/2 just the sum of your 3 sides. Okay, so you're just going to add those 3 up and then take half of that. All right, let's take a look at the first one here. So go ahead and put 6, 8, and 10 for your 3 side lengths. Let's find S, which is going to be 1/2, 6 plus 8 plus 10, which I think in the end is 12. So K equals square root of 12 times 12 minus 6. Whoa. 12 minus 8. 12 minus 10. Square root. What do we get underneath there? What's 12 times 6 times 4 times 2? 576. And what's the square root of that?
24.
So it's 24. If you don't have measurements, just say units squared. Okay. All right, now I want to do that one on purpose. And I also drew this triangle accurately. What type of triangle is that? It is a right triangle. Because you can double check it. You can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's 36 plus 64, which is 100. That equals 100. If you do have a right triangle, I can use 1/2 base times height, which would be 1/2. My base is 8. My height is 6. That still gives me 24. So I just want to make sure you understand good old Heron is correct. This formula will work with that right triangle. Now that second one is clearly not a right triangle. And to find that area, otherwise it wouldn't be fun. You'd have to find some angles and do some tricks to find the height. You could get there. But go ahead and use Heron's formula, see what you get, round it to the nearest 10. All right, I got 50 for my semi-perimeter. Plus, what is it, 34?
Oh, I did 30.
30, that'll change it. So now S equals, or no, K equals. -50 21. 50 minus 34. 50 minus 45. Final answer, Cooper, what'd you get?
340.6.
340.6.
340.6.
Okay. I couldn't save it. All right, so you end up with like 340.6. All right, so you got different types of triangles here. All right, page 726, not a lot, but just a few here.
This is pretty busy.
Oh.
Yes.
I know.